Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Born and dead, saved by love, count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah, yeah. Have a vision, it's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know. Yeah. Love will reign. Try to believe it. In my heart, I truly believe sun will shine again. And love, I can hardly wait.
Love will reign. I love that song. And thank you, Kiera Coleman Ward, for the opportunity to showcase that beautiful song. Give me some likes or loves across platform if you love that music, and you should go and get Kiera Coleman Ward's music. He is the phenomenal artist. Love will reign. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist. I'm advocating for a better love for you and me, that we might increase the amount of love in the world. And you have come to love and stuff. I hope that you will click share, tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, Twitter followers, YouTube subscribers, or Twitch subscribers as well to join us. 5 of the more popular ones to join in some of today's topic and discussion that we have pulled again from the inbox and taking snippets of what we thought was some very interesting topics that we have had over the past. And as we're going into a new year, we kind of took some of the blasts from the past opportunities to share with you some of the thoughts that people had on this topic. And if you have a topic that you want us to broach, drop it now in the Love and Stuff community's inbox. It'll be hot for us to use as a topic right here. If you decide that you want to be anonymous, we'll do that. Or if you want to come into the comments or come live with us and discuss the topic, it's all to give varying perspectives on love. The love that we have with God, the love that He has for us and that we have for ourselves, and the love that we have for others. Before we strike out to love other people, I think we have to be about the business of loving God and loving ourselves. And that's what our journey is truly about. And we welcome all of you to join us on this journey by joining the Love and Stuff community, going to the page and clicking follow, and joining inside Love and Stuff. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that. So take a moment again to click share, tag someone to join us, and we will be happy to have those of you that will join us. Okay, I'm just checking across platforms. Thank you, making sure that we're live everywhere. And I appreciate all of you. And so as we prepare to go into this topic, which is a topic that we had before, it's an interesting topic because you will see from some of the opinions that I have pulled to share with you that it's kind of split based on gender, which I'm not totally surprised about that, but I'm always fascinated that men and women see things very differently. So in this specific inbox, we had an inbox woman who had written out a note that she was going to place on the car of a neighbor who she only knows as neighbor. She does not have a great relationship or bad. She just knows her neighbor, right? She was going to place the note on the neighbor's car. And the note was going to say to the neighbor, hey, you should double back on Tuesdays or Fridays to see what's going on at your house. Now, I want to tell you, time has elapsed. And I do want to tell you, even though I can't reveal who that neighbor, of course, was, right? It wasn't my neighbor. But she was leaving the note on the husband's car about what was happening. I'm sorry, on the wife's car about what was happening with her husband. And a lot of the women said, stay out of my business. The men said, if that were me, thank you. I want you to know that she did put the note on the car. So I want to talk a little bit later on to tell you some of the feedback of what happened. So she did get a chance to watch the show. And that was a little bit ago, but she did put the note on the car. And I want to share with you toward the end, a little bit later on, about what was said about that note. So I want to go into some of the discussion that was held during that time. Some of the discussion was hilarious. And I want you to know that I appreciate all of the people who are willing to come live on Love and Stuff and talk about various topics. And you may one day ask for the link or decide to come and join us. We'd be more than happy to have you join us. So here is from that topic some of the reactions initially that people had. Click share right now because I think you don't want to miss a drop of this show tonight. Hello, Tanisha Danielle.
Hey, oh, you have to forgive the headscarf, but I'm good.
That's okay. Yep, you're absolutely gorgeous. The headscarf becomes you.
There you go.
Tanisha, turn it the other way.
I was trying to keep my hand not to be in front of the camera. There you go.
Okay. So, Tanisha, let's say that you're married and your neighbor who you know, you don't know her well, but your neighbors. She leaves the note on the car. You don't know it's her, but a note is on your car that says double back on Tuesday or Friday. What do you do?
I don't do anything. And I say it because it's happened before. I was married, as you know,
Yes.
and my neighbor 2 doors down stopped me when I was out for a walk with the kids and said, hey, you should just pop in at home every once in a while just to check up. And I let it go. I absolutely let it go because I didn't want it to cause an issue on the block. I didn't need my whole neighborhood knowing what's going on because whatever's going to happen. Eventually, it came to the light. All things done in the dark will come to the light at some point. But no, I'm not going to turn around because then I just know something has happened. And if I come home and there's nothing there, then I'm still going to have that suspicion. So you might as well just let it play out the way that it's supposed to play out. Now,
So
I wouldn't
you're
be
gonna
the neighbor to leave a note either.
so you're gonna ignore the note, basically. Would
I'm
you
going
tell
to
your
ignore
husband?
it.
Will you tell your
I'll
husband
put it.
about it?
I'll slide it right on the table. Say, hey, this piece of meal came for you, and slide it right on the table and keep on walking.
Good response. Good response. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna swipe you out, but that was good. I like that. That was very good. Thank you, and you look
All righty.
beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Ask Kenyatta. So let's say you do come home, even though you said you wouldn't do it. I understand that. Let's say you do come home and you arrive and there is this woman entering your home. She kisses your husband. She goes in the door. I want the inbox person to get an understanding of what kind of drama could ensue. So what would you do if you watched a woman going in to kiss your husband at the porch and then they go in the house? What would you do?
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but there's going to be like a 4-word prayer. Dear Lord, help me. And then I'm going to get out my car and I'm going to go in the house. And I'm going to be as calm as I possibly can and give him the best opportunity that he has to give me the stupidest answer that he can. Because I'm assuming that there's an affair at this point. Now, unless I know that he has a girlfriend and we have some understanding. But if it's an obvious affair where he's walking in, this chick is walking into my house and they sucking face at the door, then I'm going to walk in. I'm going to introduce myself to her. I'm going to say, yeah, you know me from the picture right there. And I'm going to give him his opportunity to explain himself. He going to get a good chance. I'm fair. I'm impartial. And then she has the opportunity to walk out of my house or be carried out. Those are going to be the only options. But yeah.
And so
she gets to leave because I can't hurt her in my house. I know the domestic rules and stuff. I can't hurt her in my house, but she can leave. I'm gonna give her the opportunity. You may excuse yourself from this situation because I'm sure you don't want to be here for this. And then I'm gonna allow him to keep on talking. And I've learned not to choke anybody, put my hands on somebody. I'm gonna let him explain and then give him the opportunity to leave and relocate. And he can come back in a couple days and we can talk about it. But he gonna have to go. And voluntarily. That's gonna be the best option is for him to leave voluntarily.
So hopefully this is violence free because you know the domestic rules.
I do. I know the domestic rules all too well.
And then what if the neighbor comes across the street and says, see, girl, that's why I told you. What is your response to her?
I'm going to give her the same opportunity I gave the woman kissing my husband. She can leave too. She didn't have to come across the street and say anything to me because my life is entertaining as it is, and everything I want the public to know goes on my Facebook page. So she can look at it on Facebook or on Snapchat or Instagram, wherever it decides to go. But in my own home, that is not made for TV unless I'm recording my kids. So I'm going to tell her the same thing. Oh, that's great. I'm going to need you to go. You ain't have to come across the street and tell me a doggone thing. Not
and so
at all.
Will you be upset with her? Will you be thankful that she told you? Will you be like,
I'm going to be upset that she carried her behind across the street to talk to me like we friends. We ain't friends. You don't introduce yourself as a friend by going, hey, girl, your husband cheating. That is not a friend. You're not even a neighbor at that point. A neighbor pulls my garbage cans to the back. picks up my newspaper off the lawn or something like that. You don't get in the middle of my marriage. So if you saw something, you told me to double back. I'm like, oh, so you the one sitting across the street watching my house all day. Why are you watching my house? And then, of course, she's going to feel like she did me a favor. You didn't do me a favor. What you did is cause drama. Are you going to pay for the therapy sessions? Are you going to hold my hand? Are you going to counsel him, going to counsel me? Are you going to stay and work this out with us? Because if not, you ain't got nothing to say to me. Don't come across the street. Don't tell me nothing. Don't leave me no little notes. Don't start stuff in my house. Because, again, eventually everything that comes, that's done in the dark, it always comes to light. And I know this from personal experience. I done had the neighbor slipping in my house when I was gone. I done had the friend that kissed when I was gone. I've been there, done that. So you won't help me at all. So mind your business, stay in your own lane. I appreciate the fact that you thought you were doing something good, but if you were really doing something good, you would rake my leaves. You would, tell me if somebody was breaking into my house. This woman was let in freely. So, you ain't helping me at all. That's not neighborly. That's nosy. That's too much live TV. This ain't Real Housewives.
Yes. Let me jump back to some of the comments. Hang tight. I'm gonna keep you on.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me go back.
I see crime of passion.
Believe it. Okay. I will hope now. Okay. Yes, definitely she should. Oh, Patricia says yes, definitely she should leave the note. I'm gonna have to bring her in. Stay there though, Tanisha. We got one person that says she should leave the note. So hold on. Andrea says, I don't think I want to be the informant. Aria says, okay, try it now, Marcus. Tammy Baker has joined us. Thank you. The person could hurt another, or it could come to her front door. A lot of slow singing and flower bringing. So what, could he bring you flowers, Tanisha, after this? Or he need to vacate for a few days?
I'm going to need him to do so he going to have to leave at least for a few hours and allow me to calm down. And I mean, like, seriously calm down. Because even my calm is crazy. And example being when I found out that my husband was tiptoeing out, I took all the naked pictures of him and posted them on the outside of our house so the neighborhood could see. You want to show the neighbor your stuff? I'm going to show the whole neighborhood. I eventually came to my senses and removed most of them. However, he going to need to leave me alone for a little while. And he would know that. If he married me, he would know that maybe she need a time out moment. Maybe she just a little bit. And he can come back. You can bring me flowers. I hope they in pots. Not the ones that's going to die, because then I'm a trip and say they died because I'm petty like that. But he better bring me something that can be planted in the yard so that the neighbor across the street who was nosy got something to do when she watching my house.
Okay. Dana has joined us. Dana Moore. First Lady says
Hi,
yes,
Dana.
yes.
Hey, Fee and Tammy.
Stephiana Wyatt has joined us. Great. Andrea
hey,
says
Steffi.
Yep. I cannot imagine a woman who has been caught with another woman's husband would do anything but run like hell out of her house when the wife arrived. I would imagine. But some of these people, Earlene, you got gall, mendigated gall, if you're going to somebody's house in broad daylight. I just think you do. See my point exactly. Stay out of it. Cree says, go sat down somewhere, nosy tail. We're laughing at Earlene. That's his or her funeral swan song playing. Oh, got it. Okay. I'm going to see if Patricia's still here. Hold on. Let's see. Is she still here? Okay. I'm going to try to swipe her in. Thank you, Tanisha. I'm going to come back.
You're welcome.
So as you can see, Tanisha in the comments said, I'm all crazy. It's still the same response she said. And it was heating up on these responses, right? Where people are saying, don't you tell me nothing, get out. I love how Tanisha said, neighbor takes the can to the back or rakes the leaves. I love it. And we are revisiting a topic where the neighbor woman is watching another neighbor's infidelity happen, and she decides that she's going to leave a note on the car of the wife to tell her double back on Tuesday or Thursday just to see what's happening at your house. And so we wanted to hear from them and from you now about what you think should happen. And I'll tell you a little later what actually happened. But right now, I want to bring in another person whose mind was changed. She thought her mind was all made up. She was like, I'm going to put that note on there. I want the neighbor to know what's going on at her home, what is happening. And she kind of had a change of heart. This is right, good. It looks like it's resolving. Hope so. All right, click share, tag 5 of your closest friends, 5 of the more popular ones to join us. All right, it looks like it's reconnecting. We got some, okay. All right, it is reconnecting. Fantastic. I will bring in Patricia. Wonderful. I wanted to bring you on and welcome tonight on Love and Stuff because you're one of the different opinions, and I love that about Love and Stuff. We've got a very dynamic group with a good mix of opinions. You're saying that she should leave the note. Is that correct?
Yeah, but as I heard the young lady talk, I changed my mind. I changed my mind quick. Yep. Yeah, it would have been, it seems like the neighbor was a little bit nosy. Whatever's done in the dark gonna come to the light. She would have eventually found out without the note.
So you changed your mind and said no.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm gonna swipe. So as you can see, Patricia said, "Hey, listening to Tanisha, I changed my mind. I think that I need to mind my own business." If that's you, give me some likes or loves. You say, "Hey, I don't know if that note should go on that car. You should mind your own business." Drop in the comments what you're thinking as to whether or not you would put that note on the car to tell your neighbor, or walk up to the house to tell your neighbor. What would you do if you were in that situation? Should you be involved in what is happening with your neighbor? Are you being a good neighbor if you're telling them double back because something is going on? Well, it got even more interesting as we continue to have various opinions. And of course, LaShawn Phoenix Coteran is very outspoken, and she certainly has some interesting things to share. Click share right now so you can invite other folks to come in and join in on the discussion. Hear what LaShawn had to say, what she would do if she were in the situation. How are you, daughter?
Hey, Dad.
Oh, I know we could hear her and you, but she couldn't hear me. Okay, so here's what we talking about. Okay. Similar to a few weeks ago. Nope, the other way is good.
All the way is good? Okay.
That way is great. You look marvelous. Okay. Dashing, smashing. Let's say there's a neighbor who lives across the street from you. You know her, but you all are just neighbors. You're not friends.
Okay.
And unbeknownst to you, she leaves a note on your car saying, "Double back on Tuesday or Friday. I want you to see something." What do you do when you see that note?
What does double back mean? Like come over
Come back home. Come back home.
Oh. I double back. I'm a double back.
You're going to double back?
I'm going to double back.
And let's say you double back, and as you're pulling up, because you're kind of creeping up, right? You want to see if you can find something out. Mm-hmm. On the porch, you see your husband kissing a woman, and they go in the house together. What do you do?
I blow the house up. What are you talking about?
Wait.
I throw the entire house away with everybody in it.
you wait. Do you go in the house first, LaShawn?
So I saw them kissing on the porch.
And then they
go into the house together. He had his mouth on her, and then they go into the house. I blow the house up. Like straight Farrah Fawcett, The Burning Dead.
But listen, I know because you're a poet, and that's what you do with words. But baby, don't you go?
That's what you do in real life. Like you slash car tires, you bust out car windows. You do that in real life. I've done that in real life. I've done that. So
you have, but this is what I'm asking. Step number one: do you go drive to get some dynamite, or do you go in the house?
I go in the house.
And what happens?
I grab the nearest knife, gun, glass, piece of material. Well, first I check. I go in to get an enhanced look at the situation.
Okay.
And then I am probably gonna wild out. I mean, I'm a Cancer, so highly emotional, way too much. I'm probably gonna whoop somebody's behind. I can't imagine me being calm. But then I'm going to follow up by blowing out the neighbor's mouth as well. The neighbor's getting her mouth blown out as well.
I wanted to I was getting to that. So you're gonna hit the probably hit the girlfriend, hit your husband, right? Stab somebody.
Well, actually, I mean, like the girl is actually secondary. I wouldn't be coming for the girl. I would be going for my husband. That's who I have covenant with. But the girl, my covenant is with you. And so her being there is based on what you've told her. So whether she knows about me or not, you have given her the freedom to make her feel like it's okay to pretend to be me. So I'm not going for the girl first. I'm trying to kill him with everything that I have. Like, we gonna be on Dateline.
And so Tanisha's saying, blow up the house, oh Lord. No, we don't want to destroy joint assets. You don't care. You got insurance.
I don't care. My whole life is over. My life is over. I've made an investment in this marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my hope to be one and done, even though it's his second marriage. You know, if we were literally talking about my husband, I would be going into this someone who actually believes that we can get over infidelity. I don't actually believe that infidelity is a deal breaker in a relationship. And I know some people do. It's the deceit. Like, if you're going to be deceitful, you got neighbors watching, our reputation is on the line. I'm not trying to do nothing to the girl. She's so secondary. She's a non-factor. I'm coming for you.
And so let me ask you this. So the woman across the street comes across the street and said, I'm so glad I told you. What do you do?
Blow her mouth completely the F out. Like, ma'am, since you can't mind your business, I'm going to make sure you don't have any teeth. So her teeth will be blown out. She's so out of control. And I mean, like, I definitely understand the people who feel like they need to have a commitment to your business. But not only were you in my like, just gossip about me behind the scenes. You put a note on my car and said, come back Tuesday, around about 7 o'clock, girl, turn back around. I go in and I find my husband. So you've been watching this for weeks, months, years. I don't know. You getting your mouth blown out too, boo. Everybody can get some.
Everybody. You're here for it. You're here for it.
I'm here.
So
I am here for the drama.
Cynthia Amaker has joined us. Danielle Reeves has joined us. Tanisha saying yes. Clarence, be prepared. Sanders has joined us. Patricia says, say that. Don't go anywhere. Just act. Crime of passion. Think about it. You got a murder charge, she says. Say that it ain't her, it's him. He made her feel comfortable in my space. Good point. David Captain Walker says,
like, at what point did she think that she was okay to run up in my house and lay with my man, put her mouth on him on the front porch? He gave her the authority to feel that way. So I'm going to destroy his authority. His authority has to be the one that comes to the end. I think women are super foolish, even in our highly emotional state. We are super foolish going after the girl. It's the guy who destroyed that covenant. I made the covenant with you. Bump this, B. It's about you. You are the husband. And so I'm not going for no girl. I'm doing the choke out on you. You gotta die. You gotta die. Now, if she tries to come to your defense, I'm stabbing her on sight. But you alone, you gotta go. And that neighbor, oh boo, that
and
neighbor,
so that's what.
Dead.
So basically, you're starring in How to Get Away with Murder. Basically.
I don't even have to get away with it. I'm going back to the boo who said crime of passion. I don't have to get away with it. I temporarily lost my mind when he told her she could come up in the house and lay with him and kiss on the front porch. I lost my mind and he lost his life. My bad. Insanity.
Understood. And so that's why, because our inbox, this comes from the inbox where a woman is saying, you know, she drew up a note to leave on the car, a big sign, and she's wondering if she should put it on the car to notify the wife. And you're saying,
if she loves her life,
because see, this is the drama that can happen, right?
Oh, she is going to get, after I'm done with everybody in the house, I am blowing her mouth the F out. She's getting her mouth blown out. What do you do? How long have you been watching this? Shut your mouth. You better pray. You better sit over there and pray. Pray quietly. Give that on over to the Lord. Give that to God.
Eric Lampkin says, I actually dealt with that situation before. It's about both. However, I dealt with the spouse, then dealt with the other person. Daniel Reeves says, rhinestone orange jumpsuit. She is crazy. Leonard has joined us. He's come back. I'm glad to hear a sensible person that doesn't go after woman first. That's what Andrea says. She said, you got to die. So, yeah, it sounds like everybody in this story dies. So we should tell the woman that we should tell the woman in the inbox, you probably should not leave that note because mind your business. Mind your business, okay?
Mind your business. It is not worth the risk of retaliation from him, from her. It is not worth the risk of retaliation. Let her find out however she's going to find out. But you being the neighbor, telling her to run back to the hood to catch her man slipping, girl, bye. Bye, you're dead. Bye. Your mom, you don't have any teeth. You're gumming it for life.
let me Michael Reeves has joined us. Eric Sanders has come back. Cree Baker has come back. Eye Candy, I see you looking. I would want to know, you will be mad at first, but later thank the neighbors. Somebody else is saying they would thank the neighbors.
Well,
you say no.
God, they are on a different level of salvation than what I'm on, because I wouldn't be thanking anybody. She would get her property wrecked, starting with her teeth. I promise you that. I promise you your child is hood. I promise you I'm blowing her mouth out.
Come on, blowing her mouth out.
Is this a topic for real, Dan? Like, what, did this is she contemplating this for real?
I have a picture of the sign. I have a picture of the sign. So she hasn't put the sign there, but there is a sign written. And so I want her to kind of get it, if she comes through the community tonight or watches this at a later time, because I hope that everybody's going to share it and like it so that we'll get 1,000 views like we did last week. But I wanted her to hear it because I don't think she knows the unintended consequences that could occur.
Exactly.
This could result in domestic violence of the worst kind. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you're saying
she just needs to leave that alone. Like, she needs to, that is a situation where she needs to legit mind her own business. Like, I get being a good Samaritan or not wanting to see somebody be hurt, but girl, you are risking your life and the lives of others. You just don't know niggas' level of crazy. Like, you don't know how crazy people really are. I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't risk my home, my safety, and the lives of others.
Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to swipe you out, but stay around because I might want to swipe you I'm
here.
Andrea says, swiping the one who says, she said, thank you. Okay, I'm going to see about that. Leonard said, you're so gangster. He said, you're so gangster. And he knows that. He knows whose daughter she is because I kind of feel similarly. All right, thank you. I'll be back to you.
Thank you, Dad.
So as you can see, LaShawn was ready to turn up and turn out. And she's saying, don't tell her, because if you pass on this information to her, she is definitely gonna, in her words, not mine, blow your mouth out. Blow your mouth out. I couldn't hardly get that out. We're talking from the inbox, and I wanted to share some of the reactions that happened before I share with you what actually happened, of a woman who had been observing what she estimated was an affair between a husband and another woman. She wrote a sign to put on the car of the wife to instruct her to double back, to come back home on Tuesdays and Fridays to see what was happening at her house. And the opinions varied just about across gender. Darren says, I wish my neighbors would told me about my wife. I'm gonna swipe you in. I'm gonna send you the link in 1 minute. I want you to tell me I want you to come on and tell me how would you react? Maybe not how you did, because I don't want the police to get you or anything like that. But I want to hear, because there was a difference, Darren, on both sides of the coin. Different people thought very differently about what should happen. And it really was based, it seemed to be split along the gender line. So I'm going to go to a quick break because we'll give you an opportunity to shop in a few minutes. But I want to give you some of the gentlemen, at least one of them right. All right, we had a slight freezing happening. I think we're back, having a little connection challenge. We're right back, and I'm going to, oh, okay. We're having a slight connection challenge, but we are going to work right on through that. And you heard from LaShawn, and I want you to be able to live the brand, wear the brand, and love the brand.
What you wear says something about you, about who you are, what you believe, and what you stand for. So here in the Love and Stuff community, we wear the brand that we live, and we live the brand that we wear because we love the brand. It's all about increasing the amount of love in the world and upping our love game. And if that's what you're about, you should wear it too.
If that's what you're about, you should wear it too. And so in a moment, we'll give you a chance to click on the link so that you can shop live with us. I want to see if I can get Darren to join me here live. So I'm going to drop the link in the comments. I hope that you will see it. Let me know if you don't see it. It should give you the opportunity to join me here live. I want to go to one of the fellas because one of the fellas had a slightly different take on things. And so I want to bring one of the fellas in whose take on it was a bit different and see how that resonates with you.
Hey, Marcus.
All right. Hey, Ken, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good. How you doing? Yeah, I can hear you. It's going in and out a little
good.
bit, but I can hear you.
Okay. So my question is, if you've heard the scenario, if you
Right.
walked outside and there was a note on your car that said, double back on Tuesday or Friday, I want you to see something, what would you do?
I would double back. I most definitely would double back
And if
because
you
your
double
neighbor.
back,
Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I would most definitely double back because the neighbor didn't have to take the time to look out for me, and I want to see what's going on.
And let's say that you double back and you see Tammy on the porch kissing a man and letting him in the house. What do you do?
Tammy single. That's pretty much it. That's it. I'm coming in the house. I'm going through the back door first off, and I'm gonna stand in there and I'm gonna watch for a while, and I'm just gonna come around and I'm gonna surprise him, and we're gonna have a conversation that I can't talk about on TV, on Facebook, but. Yeah, pretty much after that, Tammy's single.
So can you see that escalating to some level of domestic violence right there?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. That could right on the spot. I mean, because it had to be going on for a while.
Right. And so let's say that you throw him out, you tell her to get out, and you go outside and your neighbor comes up to you and say, I'm so glad I told you. How do you respond to the neighbor?
I tell the neighbor thank you. You know what I'm saying? I tell him, hey, just keep this on the low. There's nobody else's business. This don't need to be up and down the street. I appreciate it. Let's just keep this between us, and that should be it. But, we always talking about that we need to be more neighborly. When your neighbor comes up to you and tell you, hey, your wife is cheating on you or you need to double back to see something, you should respect that.
Wow, that's interesting. And so, I don't know if you've been hearing, a lot of people have been kind of the opposite. They're saying, stay out of our business. It's none of your business. You might get jacked up too if you get in our business. But you're saying you would want to know.
I most definitely want to know. I mean, what's the point of beating up the neighbor or disrespecting the neighbor for looking out for you? I mean, that makes no sense to me. But I most definitely want to know.
Wonderful. Thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. It's fascinating to hear all of the different perspectives, because some people are ready to fight. Some people are saying, I want to know,
Right.
which I think that's a valid thing. If somebody's putting a note,
Right.
I think the natural inclination is to double back, right? You don't know what you're going to see,
Right.
but you want to go back to see
Exactly.
somebody sent you the letter or the note.
Exactly. Because it had to be going on for a while for your neighbor to leave you a note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
I'm
All
going
right.
to let you out, but keep hanging around. Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right.
So you see, Ken from North Carolina via Detroit, go Detroit, said, hey, I thanked that neighbor after I don't know what he would do, because he said he couldn't say it on Facebook. He said, but he'd be divorced, right? He said he'd go in and watch for a bit. Now I go through the side door. He said back door, one of those doors, right? And kind of pitch out and see what's going on, right? Check it out and then do whatever it is I think that I need to do. But he said if the neighbor approached him and said, I'm so glad I told you, he'd be like, thank you. I'm so glad you did too. And this was where we saw across gender lines that the men felt some way and the women felt a very different way. And so I want to bring in one more woman who felt some kind of way, who said, hey, this is not your business. This is not what you want. And I think it's interesting, fascinating that different people have different perspectives. I am going to share before we go tonight what happened, what actually happened. Did she put that note on there? You want to stick around to find out, did she put that note on there? Plus, there'll be a chance for you to shop and wear the brand you love, live the brand you wear the brand you live, be a part of the Love and Stuff brand.
Okay, Cree. I hope that you have pulled over.
I did. I'm in the driveway. I made it home. Okay. I mean, I saw some comments and I'm with that. If you gonna put something on my car,
so let me
tell me about my husband.
Let me set it up for you. Let me set it up for you this way.
Okay.
It's a note on your car. What do you double back or do you not?
No, because I'm trying to figure out what's the note from. Who is it from?
So you don't know who it's from, and so you don't double back because you don't know who it's from.
Well, I get the hard part of the scenario. I just
that's how it starts.
I don't do it.
Right, but I'm saying
no, because you asked other people what would they do. First of all, my first thing is why you put.
Huh? First thing is you see the note. So what would you do if you saw the note?
I would go, where is it from? Do I know it's from the neighbor?
You do not.
No, I wouldn't double back. I'm sorry.
So
I handled my own. I told y'all last week.
Do you show your husband the note? Do you show your husband the note?
No. No.
So you just don't know anything.
Eventually, what's done in the dark will come to light.
Mm-hmm.
If you talking to your mate throughout the day, you know, like me and my husband, we talk throughout the day. You know, once I get to work, he'll call me 2-3 times on my job before 12 o'clock.
But that can work. That can work, and he also knows how to say shh to the person that's in the house, right? So if you can cheat, you can cheat well, right? That's my point. People do know how to cheat. This is not new. It's not a new profession. So it is possible for your husband to call you certain times throughout the day and still have somebody at the house. That's not the point. The point is whether or not you would act on the input of a stranger who is anonymous. And it sounds like you're saying no, you wouldn't.
Because I'm going to know mine. Marcus, I'm just different with that. I mean, I've been married 18 years, and I know my husband. I can tell when he's doing something, when he's telling me, you know, I can tell when my husband is watching TV and talking to me.
Right, but I'm just trying to put you. I'm trying to put you in a scenario. I'm trying to put you in a scenario, and it sounds like you don't get any farther in the scenario because you wouldn't question it. Right? Okay. All right.
I wouldn't question it. I wouldn't tolerate it. And a note on my car, I'm looking like. First of all, I want to know who put the note on my car.
But you
it's
don't
not
know.
so much
That's
what the note says.
But that's the point. You don't know. So you don't know, Cree. You don't know. You writing new stuff in the story. You don't know who it's from. You don't know who it's from.
Okay, so my reaction would be,
You told me that you would do
I
nothing.
wouldn't do nothing.
There you go. That's
But
fair.
I would know I got that note. But listen, I would never forget that note. I would never forget it.
So what do you mean? Do you put it in your purse? You put it in you keep it?
Put it in the trash. Throw it away. But I would never forget it.
You never forget it.
Right.
And would that make you start looking out for signs?
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm just
Well,
different. Call it what you want. I just, because what you do in the dark will come to light. And I'm just like that. And
Okay.
We go from chasing, last week, we go from chasing to now we got a note from a stranger on our car. Would we react to the note? Would we react to it? Would we double back, as you say?
Right. And you said no. All right. Make sure you hashtag unintended consequences. Thank you. Stick around. Thank you.
Just know it's some consequences when the light come, no.
Okay. All right. Hashtag unintended consequences and stick around. Thank you. Jalita has come back. Thank you. LaShonda's laughing. I would double back too, bro. But man, it's going to.
So you see, Cree wasn't having it. Nope. I'm not going to listen to the note. I'm not going to react to the note. I'm going to remember the note, but I'm not showing the note to my husband, she said, and I'm throwing it away because I know my husband, she said. And so the note, excuse me, is a non-factor to her. We're talking from a previous inbox, and in just a few minutes, I'm going to share what actually happened. Did she actually end up putting the note on the car of the woman whose husband appeared to be having an affair across the street? What would you do if someone put a note on your car and told you, hey, double back on Tuesday and Friday and see what's happening at your house? Would you double back? And what would you do if you double back and saw your spouse on the porch kissing somebody else and letting them into your home? It sounds like a disaster, right? And what we heard across gender is that men respond to this very differently than women. So I want to share with you one more gentleman's response. And just before I do, I want to share with you one of our partners, who is Christina, the money coach from Powerful Money Tools, LLC. If you are in this new year and part of your purpose is to get your finances right, you want to enlist someone right here in the Love and Stuff community. Her name is Christina Smith. Her company is Powerful Money Tools, LLC, and she is one of our partners here in the Love and Stuff community. And we love all that Christina is doing. Right now, I want you to hear from Christina.
Welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. At Powerful Money Tools, we are here to prepare for your future. We want to talk about financial freedom. Financial freedom is budgeting, credit building, and also financial education. So once again, welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. We can't wait to help you in your financial future.
Thanks, Christina. She can't wait to help you. And listen, she's helped many people, especially women in our Love and Stuff community, turn their financial future around and get on the right financial foot. Hey, don't just sit in those financial ruins or mistakes that you made. You can recover from those mistakes and build you a robust plan. Contact Christina here on Facebook at Powerful Money Tools, LLC, or Christina Smith and Christina Smith and Powerful Money Tools, LLC on every other platform. She will do you well. Thanks, Christina, for continuing to be a partner to the Love and Stuff community. I'm going to bring up one more gentleman as we talk about this topic of it's kind of whether or not neighborly is nosy. Do you get in your neighbor's business? Well, mostly the men said, absolutely, I want to know. And I must say, I kind of, ladies, though it's 77% of ladies, 23% of men in the Love and Stuff community, I side with the brothers on this one. I would want to know. Call me nosy, call me Rosie. I don't know what you want to call me. But if I got that note, I'm doubling back. And I am, like Tanisha said, praying a short prayer. Lord Jesus, help me. Lord Jesus, help them. Lord Jesus, keep me so that I won't be in jail under the jail on a bunk bed with a piece of cornbread stuck to my head. I want to make sure that I'm able to keep the presence of mind not to do the wrong thing. But I would want to know, and I would thank my neighbor if my neighbor came across the street. What happened as a result of the inbox? I'm going to share that with you shortly, but I wanted you to hear from one other brother who said, hey, here's how I feel. Let's hear how he does feel.
Announce them. There he is, Eric Sanders.
Put on my glass.
Wonderful.
What's up, sir?
How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. I've seen you've been in and out of the convo, and so I want to just recap it and get your opinion.
Okay.
So you have a neighbor across the street, and unbeknownst to you, your neighbor leaves a note on your car that says, double back on Tuesday or Friday. I want you to see something. What do you do?
Double back on Tuesday. You said
Or Fridays.
Or Friday?
Tuesday or Friday, I want you to see something.
How well do I know this neighbor?
You don't know it's the neighbor. You just see the note on your car. You don't know who it's from.
Oh, what will I do?
What would you do?
I'll be looking out around that time they want me to double back. I'll be looking out of my window, but I won't be looking alone.
So does that mean that you won't leave the house, or you will leave and double back?
I'm curious to know what this neighbor wants or is trying to say. So I want to watch and see what this neighbor is going to do. So I'm not going to leave the house. I'm going to stay there.
Okay. So you stay there. You don't leave on Tuesday and Friday. You just decide. Let's say normally you would leave every morning and go to work. Mm-hmm. So this Tuesday and the note is there on Monday, and it tells you double back on Tuesday or Friday. So do you go to work on Tuesday, or you call off on Tuesday?
Oh, no, I go to work. I ain't got time to play games before.
Do you double back?
No.
Okay. So your curiosity would not make you double back.
Oh, no, not if I'm supposed to be at work. No.
Okay.
I ain't got time to play
All
with
right.
you.
So let's say, got you. Let's say that you do double back. And you pull up, and Darcia is on your porch, and she's kissing another man, and they walk in the house. What do you do?
Oh, I'm going to be on the news that day.
You're going to be on the news that day.
All I can do is be honest. I'm going to be on the news that day.
And does that mean that you will go in the house and beat him up and throw him out? And what will you do? You're going to be on the news that day. I got it. You're going to be on the news.
It's going to be hot.
And let me ask this.
I'm sorry.
And after they call the police, when you go outside, your neighbor walks up to you and say, I'm so glad I told you to double back. What do you say to your neighbor?
I'll say thank you.
You would say thank you. So you would be glad
Yes.
your neighbor told you.
Yes, I would be.
Some of the people were saying they would be upset with the neighbor. Even some of them said they would beat the neighbor up, but you would be thankful to the neighbor.
I mean, why would you beat the neighbor up? Do you beat your mailman up when he bring you a bill?
Come on, Bill. Come on, mailman. I think it's fascinating because a lot of the women say that they would beat, they burn the house down, they throw them out. And the men are saying, thank you.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the truth is the light. Thank you for bringing me towards the truth. Even though I may go to jail that day.
Wonderful. Carmen says, listen, I've whooped somebody's tail for less. It's going down. Chris Ferguson said everyone is going to be in a different situation with different trust levels. Some will go back. Others, like me, will check for damage on the car where the note was left. Okay, Andrea's watching. LaShawn said, Eric, unlock the porch. Oh, he figured that out. Darius is here. He's laughing. LaShawn says, my friends aren't here. Chris F., Stacy, Larry, a few of the folks in here. Why so close? Okay. Darius is here. Tanisha, Haley on Webb. You can't stay, Eric. Stay. You lost. Let's be single and free. Exact. Okay. Well, Kriya saying you're lost. Let's be single and free. Exactly. The neighbor shady. Why is she in my business of my home? Darius says he's doubling back. See, most of the men are doubling back and they're telling the neighbor thank you. The women are doubling back and they whooping the neighbor's tail along with their man. They just whooping everybody. But the men are saying they were being neighborly. That was good of them to tell me.
But the neighbor hasn't done anything but try to inform you. So I don't understand why they would want to beat up the neighbor. The neighbor ain't did nothing wrong.
LaShawn says, y'all with this gratitude is nuts. Cree says, really, Darius, why are we trusting this neighbor? Double back is going to get a double reaction. So see, the women are still in fight mode. Chris Ferguson says, lawyer up, delete Facebook, hit the gym. See, men are looking at it very differently. Eric, you beat up the neighbor for being an accessory to the destruction of my life. Everyone has to die. That's LaShawn. Pray for her. Darius says, what's in the dark going to come to the light? I'm doubling back. Okay. Heat of the moment, you say, I'm so glad I'm probably going to trade their head off. Richard White has joined us. Thank you for coming. Come on. Tanisha says, men and women handle cheating differently. Clearly, you all do. James Foster is watching. Leonard says, as much as I appreciate my neighbor, I would hope that my neighbor has a friendship with my spouse to speak to her and let her know what's being witnessed. Talk their head off. I mean, there's a good-looking out neighbor. Chris says, thanks, anonymous neighbor. Can I crash on your couch? So the men have a very different take on it, most of them. They're saying, tell me, and it's going to be violence. Pretty much everybody's thinking that there will be some violence. And because this came from the inbox, Eric, what I want the person in the inbox to know, because the inbox person has already written the note, she just hasn't put it on her neighbor's car.
Oh,
what
wow.
I wanted her to hear is how people might react. There could be unintended consequences from sharing this information, good or bad. People could get hurt. So she's got to consider that as well. So it's good to hear both perspectives.
Now she's leaving it for the male or the female?
She's leaving it for the female.
Oh, okay. So based upon the response, maybe she may want to think twice.
Yeah, she might want to think twice. But, you know, there are some women that say they want to know. A few women in here say they want to know, but most of the women in here said they don't want to know, and they're going to hold it against the neighbor.
Why wouldn't they want to know?
Because they said what's in the dark will come to light. Don't bring it to light. They don't see this as the light reckoning. They just say, stay out of my business. I don't need my neighbors in my business. You want to be neighborly, shovel my snow, take my trash can to the back. But don't do anything, rake my leaves. But don't tell me about my man.
That's because they're doing something themselves.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Because who wouldn't want to know if there's something going wrong or something going on with your spouse? Who wouldn't want to know that? Now, this it'd be different if it was your boyfriend or your girlfriend. This is your spouse, the person you say you want to spend the rest of your life with. And you wouldn't want to find out if they're doing something mischievous. No, something's going on with you.
That's interesting. Carmen says, I'm not beating up the neighbor. It's my man and the woman that I am doing damage to. LaShawn says, that neighbor been watching my man cheat on me. Mouth blown. Darius says, so if someone breaks into your house, you're going to ask that same neighbor, did you see anything? Come on. All right. Tanisha says, to hell with the nosy neighbor. Angela Hutchins has joined us. LaShawn says, fair enough, Darius. I'm blowing the neighbor's mouth out. Mouth with an F. Chris Ferguson said, if she isn't friends with a neighbor, say the F-U-C-K, F-F-F-F-U-C-K out. Go back to your coffee. Interesting. Darius is laughing at LaShawn. Darius Cutright says, don't fight the neighbor. Your man wrong. LaShawn says, if she sees something and it's not accurate, then she stepped into my relationship and tried to cause a problem. No, Eric, ain't nobody doing nothing. This is a stranger. She says she's blowing his mouth out. Philip Patrick has joined us. Iris says, I would want to know. I just would find someone who doesn't know me trying to tell me very suspect.
Now, did you say this person doesn't know you? You said the neighbor, right?
It's your neighbor, but you aren't friends. It's just your neighbor. It's not like your southern neighbors and you all, Eric, it's not the southern hospitality neighbors. It's just regular neighbors. You know Mr. and Mrs. Jones. They know Mr. and Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, it's different. It's different down in North Carolina,
We know that. Thank you for rubbing that in. Tanisha says, oh, hell no, bro. Just because I don't want you telling me doesn't mean I'm doing something. I don't want to hear anything from anyone who isn't a contributing party to my life. What do you think about that, Eric?
Well, God put people in your space and he put people in place to inform you and help you along this journey. So
come on, journey.
Help. That's on you.
That's good. That's good. Tanisha says, hey, Disco Ed, Rodney, Kaiser. Yes, welcome to Love and Stuff. Now, that's another topic, sir. Not one for my neighbor or a friend. We aren't friends. This nigga put a note on my car. But the point is, LaShawn, is that it was well-intended, right? Give me likes if you all realize it was well-intended. It wasn't to break up your marriage, but that person thought that you would want to know the information. Give me some likes if you agree with that. Okay, got some. Thank you, Eric. Got some, LaShawn. Got some. So you got to remember that when you're ready to beat up the neighbor, because really they thought they were doing a good deed. They think that they're helping you out, even though, as LaShawn said, it's the destruction of her life. Even though, LaShawn, you did say earlier that infidelity is not necessarily a deal breaker, even though you're blowing up the house. So, honey, if you blow up the house, there's nobody left. So it really is a deal breaker. Or I think maybe Tanisha said it's not a deal breaker. Somebody said it's not a deal breaker, infidelity, but it is if you're killing somebody. So that's the deal breaker. You're going to jail and they're going, that's a deal breaker.
They have church.
The devil also gives a role to willing participant. LaShawn says, man, I'm going straight to hell then, Eric. Tammy said NC. Yes, we know, North Carolina, whatever. Janice Garner, God puts people in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Thank you for that. Dara says maybe it is or not. Oh, thank you, LaShawn, for hashtagging. Everyone, please click share now and write in your post unintended consequences. Hashtag unintended consequences. Because there could be unintended consequences for this. Just because I don't double back or want to know doesn't mean I'm doing wrong. Okay? That's another person, Tammy, says. No, Eric, she doesn't agree with that. She didn't say he was in the house when it blew up. Thank you, Chris Ferguson, for helping LaShawn commit murder. Thank you. Every action is not ordained by the Lord. The devil will move those who are willing. LaShawn said, I said it, but the embarrassment of hearing it from a stranger would make me snap. Interesting. Jolita says, mind your business. Let me find out for myself. I'm just saying. What do you say that? So we got some women are saying, I'll find out on my own. Do not let me know.
I'm curious to what that consists of, finding out on your own. What does that consist of?
I think they think because he's cheating, eventually somehow they're going to find out. Either they're going to come home one day early or he's going to slip up. Say it again.
Oh, okay.
So they think finding out on their own. Tanisha says a good deed is a deed done with no reward. If she sashays her tail across the street to talk to me about it, it's not a good deed. Okay. Coming home early from work. Okay. Julita says, Julita, for real, mistakes happen every day, Tanisha says. I don't know them, so I don't know if it's well-intended or not. That's why I would be angry with the neighbor. Plus, if in the heart of the moment you would come saying, I'm so glad I told you. Coming home early by mistake and catching it on my own. Okay, so there is an opportunity that you might learn about it. It might be years down the road when you learn about it. Like Kenny said earlier, this could have been going on all along. So would you want to know as soon as you could know? Or you want to wait until you find out on your own? Is that crossing the line, when you're saying, I'm your neighbor, are you crossing the line when you put a note on the car? Is putting the note on the car appropriate? And I'm hearing the lion's share of women saying no, and the men saying yes, thank you, please.
See, I would just call him over. I say, hey, would you come here for a second? Let me share something with you. Call me.
And Tanisha said earlier, Eric, that one of her neighbors did tell her that, walked up to her and told her. And she didn't want that neighbor to tell her. She didn't want her in her business.
No. Oh.
So it's different. Men are different because most men, I'm with the brothers for the most part on this. I would want to know.
Tell me.
Now, you don't have to leave me a note. You can walk over and tell me. But if you don't feel comfortable and you want to leave me a note, tell me, and I'm going to double back. And I'm going to park down the street, and I'm going to walk up to the house. And I'm going to go in the side door. And if I got a way to turn the alarm off, I'm going to turn the alarm off before I get to the house. And just creep in the door and see where y'all at. And I'm going to take some pictures. And then the rest I'm not going to say on Facebook.
See, I ain't got time to take pictures.
I'm taking pictures of how you all looked before. How you looked before.
Said before. That's funny.
Yeah. Toya Miller has joined us. Tanisha says, I'd rather not have someone try and put something in the air that's just mess. LaShawn says, no. What happens if I have an open marriage and my neighbor decides to put her foot in it? What we do in our marriage is our business. Now, that's a little different, Tanisha. And open marriage is a topic that that is in the inbox that we may get to one day. But today's topic is that you don't know anything about this woman. You don't know who she is. And you roll up and she's there.
And what is an open marriage?
So an open marriage would be that you and Darcy agree that she can see other men, you can see other women. It's kind of like swingers.
Oh, hell to the no. Heck
right.
no.
Yeah, and that exists in 2018 as it did in 1958. But that's not today's topic. So stay tuned. We might have to have that topic on.
Yeah,
Travis Canty is watching. God gave me a third eye that will open and allow me to see. He will show me when it's time. That's what I meant. Okay, thank you for that, Jalita. Eric's going to heaven. He's going to legit see Jesus. Thank you, LaShawn. One day you're going to look back and say, dang, that girl really did love me. Tanisha. Keisha Johnson has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Dave, Captain Walker says, we all make mistakes in life as long as we don't let the mistakes get the better of us. I believe that.
True.
Chris says he's moving out. Chris says he's moving out if it happens. Tanisha says, my point is that the neighbor doesn't know anything more than I do. Well, the neighbor does know something more than you, Tanisha, because the neighbor knows when they're coming. You don't even know they're coming Tuesday and Friday.
Exactly.
Chris says, my concern, my stuff before she has a chance to go house on my hardcore and punk albums. So, Chris, you're going to get your stuff out the house before she goes in on you. I got it. Tanisha said, if she wants to run across the street and talk to my husband, then she's no better than the kissy face woman. I see. All these spiritual answers. Carmen. So, Carmen, that's what we want. We want all kind of perspectives, right? Because that's what Love and Stuff is about. Everyone has a perspective. And I don't want you to say all these spiritual answers, because some of those are great answers. And even the answers that aren't as regarded as spiritual, I want you to think about someone else's perspective. Because I think what we're hearing is men view telling differently than women view telling. And I think that is telling, right? It's fascinating that men want to know and women want people to stay out of their business. And I wonder, is there a theme? Is there a reason why women want people to stay out of their business and men want to be told? Of course, we had a sprinkle interspersed here and there of women who said, I want to know. But a lot of those voices were kind of countered with the other women that said, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want you to know. I don't want you in my business. So there are all of these perspectives about what you will do, how you will respond. And so straight from the inbox, the woman is literally holding the sign. She has a picture of the sign. And she's wondering, should she put it on the car? And I think that she if she does put it on the car, she's got to think about the unintended consequences that could happen. Because it could happen that it's a domestic violence situation. It could happen that the woman becomes violent with her. It could happen that the man becomes violent with her. So she's got to think about all of those things before she puts the note on the car. But if it were a man, she might be able to respond differently, because it sounds like men might say, thank you very much. Whereas women, for the large part, are saying, you're meddling in my affairs. So I think she has to be cautious of how she proceeds. Carmen says, we ain't praying at that moment. You just witnessed your spouse cheating. Well, Carmen, you might not be praying, right? But you might need to, right? It might be a situation where it'll make the difference between Rikers Island and sanity, right? You might get in that house and pick up a knife or a gun, like LaShawn said, or blow something up. And had you taken a moment, taken a deep breath and said, okay, this act is not the totality of my marriage. It's not the totality of my life. And I need to step back. And I need to have a cogent thought about how I'm going to approach this man, my husband, and this woman, his girlfriend, in my home.
Mm-hmm.
So it might require that you take a moment and say, okay, I'm hot as a firecracker. I'm on 1,000, but I need to step back. I need to say, Lord, as Tanisha said, her prayer will be, Lord, help me. Or she said 4 words, so it might have been, I missed a word. But she was saying, okay, Lord, give me strength so that I can remain calm. And not everybody can summons that presence, but you better think about summoning that presence, because it could result in a charge of intent to do great bodily harm.
That's true. That's true.
Even though you're right, my emotions, my first thought would be, if Angela Hutchins, who was in here earlier, and I got married, Eric, I thought I was going to marry her when I was in my 20s. And she put me down and thought I was trying to live too holy. And she said, I'm not going to be bothered with this guy. And she went on and married and found happiness and left me in the dust. Film at 11. But if Angela, and she knows this, if Angela was too close to anybody, I was going to have a problem with it. And so certainly if I walked up on my steps and saw Angela, somebody putting his arms around her and squeezing her, I know how my mind would react. And so I'd have to get myself together. And so I'm saying to Carmen, you know who you are. You know how you react. You'd have to pull it together.
Yeah, because everybody has a snapping point. Everybody. That's why we all need therapy, because at let the right thing happen or the wrong thing happen, ain't no telling what you'll do when you're in that situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. LaShawn said, niggas are mad spiritual, but I'm here for it. It's balance. I'm just fine with admitting I'm nuts. This cannot go down. Tell the girl to burn the note. Don't do that. Unintended consequences. Wendy Brown has joined us. Thank you for coming. Tanisha says, having someone tell me creates the question of how many people did she decide to tell before she told me? How many of the neighbors know? If she's not spending, I think that's, for me, irrelevant. I don't care how many other people know. It's the fact that I don't.
Yep.
So I wouldn't care who knew at this point, Kenyatta says. He was disrespectful to me in our marriage. That would be my only concern, getting free from that mess. Okay, crime of passion is walked before. All this homicidal feelings, right, Chris? Plus, what is fighting going to do? What's the violence going to do? If the spouse is cheating, it's a wrap. I hope they're happy together because I'm no longer in the picture. And we're laughing at Chris. So I'm going to thank it. Say it again, Eric.
That's how it should be. But no, like I said, it's easy said than done.
Yeah. Very easy said and done. Okay, thank you, brother. I'm going to swipe you out, and I'm getting ready to close. Thank you so much for swiping.
Yes, sir.
And so we got another male's perspective from Eric Sanders, and thank you. I wanted to share those pieces of perspective on this topic before I share with you excuse me, what actually happened. But before I get to what's actually happened and your opportunity to shop, I want to bring in Darren from the comments because he said some interesting things and I want to get his take on the topic. So I'm going to bring him in now. I hope we'll have good sound. Let's see if I can bring him in right now. Okay, so Darren, your screen is black.
Yeah, I'm going to light right now.
Okay, yep, I see you going into
All
the
right,
light.
cool. All
So good
right.
evening, Darren, and thank you for coming on. I know you have normally come and join us on Sports Talk with Kamal and Felix, so I appreciate you coming on Tuesday night and hanging out. And I saw your comments. They jumped out of the comments to me. It was news to me. I didn't know. So you have had a similar situation. So before you tell us a little bit about your situation, when you think about this topic that we're raising, what would you do if you had a note on your car that was telling you to come back home on a Tuesday or Friday? Would you do it?
I wouldn't double back because I feel like you already know what you're doing and you're supposed to be faithful to me.
Mm-hmm.
But second, like it always comes to light. Like for as my wife, one day she was texting the guy that she was having actually come over to our house.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't think I saw the text, but I did. And then I seen our address and everything. And I'm like, so she had his name saved under her female name. She had his name saved under a name Chantel. So I'm like, you don't ever talk to Chantel. How are you talking to her now? And I was just like asking questions, like going through it. Like, I thought y'all didn't talk no more. I thought Chantel didn't smoke or drink or do any of this. And then come to find out it was a dude that she saved his number under her name.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you found that out, hopefully not by catching them, hopefully.
No, I didn't find out by catching them. I found out by her phone.
Okay. And at some point you decided to leave and now you've returned to the marriage, right?
Yes, because we have a 1-year-old son.
Okay. And
I still love her, but I didn't want to leave my son.
A beautiful 1-year-old son.
But none of that mattered. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how I took care of our son, it didn't matter. She still wanted to have this affair.
I understand. And I'm wondering if you all have had the opportunity to have some counseling.
No, we haven't. Every time I try to get counseling or talk about it, she basically just shuts me down.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's to the point where I'm just ready to be over it.
Yeah, I understand that. And, in my mind, you're still relatively young. I would keep asking you to get counseling, and I think I'm going to connect you to a few counselors that you can talk to without her.
Okay.
That might give you some tools to help encourage her to come. Because I don't know the situation, and I'm not a licensed psychologist. I'm just a love activist. I'm advocating for your marriage. I advocate for marriages and the best love. I wouldn't want anybody to be in an abusive marriage, but I do.
No.
Because you love your son, probably you love her, even though your heart is broken. And I'm so sorry that you're experiencing that. But you might want to help her get to the root of why she sought comfort or solace or happiness or pleasure in someone or something outside of you. Isn't
my
you.
bad.
It's probably within her. And only
that's what she has said. Yeah. So, not to cut you off.
She's ready to come to terms with that. Because it could be other things. There could be traumas. There could be other things that are connected to her that are baggage she's carrying with you as you all travel this life together. So it's going to be really important, I think, for her to kind of deal with that. And that might be her dealing with it separately. Because sometimes, believe it or not, there's shame attached to the things that we experience.
Yeah.
We're trying to find
not even that. A wife that brings shame to her husband is like cancer to his bones.
Oh, hold on one second.
I'm breaking
up. Did I freeze? Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying a wife that brings shame to her husband is like a cancer to his bones. It breaks you down.
Yeah.
And like as far as the note, I wish I would have had a note. I have cameras on all four corners of my house, and she was intentionally unplugging the camera while I would be at work, and then go out that door to go see him.
Wow. And so you wish you had
it was all premeditated. Yes, because it went on for months. Like even after I actually questioned her about the texting the guy, it went on for about 6 more months because I worked from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So while I'm at work, he's coming over.
Wow. Wow. Um, and so you left for a period, as I mentioned earlier. What made you come
hmm
back?
More so missing my son and missing my
Mhm,
family.
mhm, mhm,
Like we have three boys. We have three boys, cat, and I was missing every bit of my sons.
mhm,
So
mhm,
I've been working on trying to forgive and forget, but it's
mhm,
just been too hard.
mhm. Uh, what are you trying to tell me what you're trying to when you say I'm trying to forgive and forget? Is there forgiveness that you're trying to do for her, for yourself? Tell me a little bit
M-
more about that.
More so for myself for dealing with the situation as long as I did,
Mhm,
because pretty much it was like I don't want to end my marriage like not like this or not at all.
mhm,
So like it was just me trying to keep the faith in God and in myself to
mhm.
still get up every day and do what I do or provide the way I provide.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
it really hurt me psychologically.
yeah. Well, I want to say I'm proud of you for going back. Some people might say you shouldn't go back. I think it is probably rare, Darren, that men go back when a wife is cheating, because a lot of times it's an emotional connection that's happening when
And
she's
that's what
cheating.
it was.
And sometimes that's harder for us to get over because we aren't as easily emotionally moved or wired, even though I think we
Yeah.
have a real emotional core, but we're taught to navigate away from it. So we
Yeah.
might not be as in tune with it as a woman is. And that's why she connects more easily for the things to feed her emotionally. But I'm proud of you as a young man that you have such a love for your kids that you're willing to work toward making your family work, and I know that God honors that. I know that God
Yeah.
honors our commitment to love, even when that love is broken. And I think I really know that because God tells us in a number of ways that He's married to the backslider. He's married to the person
hmm
who has trouble being committed to Him. And so I
Yeah.
think you model that out, and I think God honors that. But I think it is still important to help her get the tools and resources to find out why she's seeking that emotional connection somewhere else. And in that,
hmm
you might have to take some look at some things maybe that you may contribute to that made
My
it
anger.
easier for her to do that. I'm not saying it's your fault, but you might
It's not.
have created an environment that made it easier for her to do that
Yeah. She had me switch to a whole different shift and then was having him come over while I would be at work.
yeah.
And then she was saying she was lonely and all that stuff, but I have to work. I be at Chrysler now. We have to work 6 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
so I only see her on Sundays, and we'll go to church or whatever, and then I'll end up getting up and going right back into work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, she was saying it was contributed to her being left alone with our son, but it is like I have to provide. I have to pay bills. Like I have. It's a lot of things I have to do. And instead of supporting me and helping me get through that journey, you went and found you another man.
Yeah. And maybe, maybe that's that, this journey of covenant takes some walking through to learn it, right? And
Yeah.
so maybe that's a pattern of behavior. When I'm lonely, I do this, or when I don't
Yeah.
have, I do this. But a covenant takes discipline, and that takes time, especially if you're young. It takes
Yeah.
time if you're old. So it certainly is going to take time if you're young to learn the discipline of covenant and marriage to say, okay, I get to choose different options when I feel lonely. Because there are a lot of
hmm
options out there. Options
Yeah,
could
but
have
that
been
don't mean you have
drugs.
to take them.
Options could have been gambling. Options could have been finding something else that's meaningful for you to do, or other ways that you all can connect. I mean, there are a number of options, but if you don't have all of the tools to do that, you choose the
hmm
ones that are most familiar to you, right? And sometimes the ones that are most familiar sometimes can be most destructive. So I want to
Yeah.
help you guys get some of those resources because, again, I'm proud of you that you said, I'm going to go back to that marriage, even though you're having trouble forgetting and forgiving. I think if you are able to talk through and get some understanding and some empathy around it, it might
hmm
help you give grace to it. Sometimes it's hard to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes because it just seems like right
Yeah.
is right. You do the right thing. I'm working hard every day. I'm working 6 days a week. I'm going to church. I'm taking care of my family. but there's some other nuances in the story that you have to give voice to be able to say, oh, I didn't know that was fueling. Oh, I didn't know you were feeling that, and give space for her to be able to say and feel how she felt. Whether or not you think it's logical or right, it's where she is. And so we got to help her with resources where she is. And then you continue that prayer, right? I think prayer and those resources are going to be key for you to make the marriage work. And I think it is wonderful. And I want to keep tracking with you because, Darren, I think there are other young couples that might be enduring the same thing, along with all of the stuff that happened during COVID and all of the mental health issues and all of the wellness issues and depression, feeling alone. I think a lot of people are contending in their marriages where one spouse is in one place and now the other spouse is in another place. Try to come back together. Is that your vision for yourself, that you want to come back together?
Yes, that's my vision, but we still haven't got there yet. I've been working on it, but it's just like, since I found this out, the emotional connection for me has been gone.
Yeah. I'd imagine that would be tough because it's typically tough for us as men to make that emotional connection in the first place. And when we do, and it's breached, it's hard to get back there. But I want you to think about what that emotional connection was like in the beginning. It must have been pretty strong for you to want to marry her. And so I'm not going to be the counselor, but I am going to help you get one. But I think he is, or she is going to help you get back to the place where you can reconnect if that's what you decide to do. I think don't count it out until you get some counseling, right? But you get to make decisions about where you want to go forward in your life. It's together, it's just co-parenting. But I think before you come to that final decision, I think that you probably need individual counseling, she does, and then you all need couples counseling and prayer to come to that decision. So I didn't want to go into a counseling session, but I saw all of your comments and they jumped out at me because I didn't, it was news to me. And I wanted to make sure that I elevated your voice in this conversation because you have some real world experience, especially if you're learning through text. So back to our inbox, of course, and we're at 8:30. This person put the note. She ended up, after seeing all of these various opinions on this, she ended up putting the note on her neighbor's car. The woman put the note on the woman's car. And the woman did double back. And she did go into the house, and her husband and his girlfriend, side piece, whatever, were there. And they were about to, it appeared they were about to get into sexual relations. A fight ensued, and the police were called. And about a month later, the neighbor went over to talk to the woman to check on her, and the woman and the neighbor got into a fight.
Yeah, because you bringing back all that trauma. You bringing back all.
Oh, I lost your voice. I lost your connection just went low. So I lost your volume. And Lori is saying you don't have to stay and be abused emotionally to have a relationship with your children. You certainly don't. Lori, I want to just add to that. I do want him to get his individual counseling, her to get hers, and see whether or not they can work it out, because he seems committed to it. But I agree with you. I don't think anybody should stay in a relationship to be abused in any way. But I do know that there are opportunities, as you know, for grace and empathy. And if that works for your situation through prayer and counseling, I think those are great partners to ensure that you have what you need. Darren, it still shows that you have a low connection, but I'm sure you're probably, I appreciate you stepping out. It's cold over here in Michigan, so I appreciate you stepping out wherever you are. It's just that your comments jumped out at me. And that's one of the things I love, Darren, about Love and Stuff, is that different people's experiences inform ours, but also make us think differently, I believe, about how we're interacting with each other. And I think in this world where we're watching, I believe, the impact of an oppressive system where we see Black police officers killing Black people, whatever the motives, because now they're saying the streets are talking and there's a different motive. I think that's the resultant of an oppressive system I think we have to think about how we are connecting and emotionally wired and making actions and interactions with others. And it's stories like yours and others that make us think for a second and say, I may be able to approach something differently. So I wanted to say to all of those women who were saying, I'm a beat her up. Well, in this case, the woman did actually get into a fight with the woman who brought the note. Even though it's a space and time, she waited some time until afterward to go over there and reveal herself and say, hey, are you okay? I'm the one that gave the note. But they ended up having an altercation, one that did not require the police, but an altercation nonetheless. So you have to be careful. There are people who think that you are being nosy if you get involved, and there are people who would thank you. And you just may not know which is which when you make that decision. So you have to make that decision carefully. Darren, before I let you go, since you brought the baby, he is absolutely gorgeous. Put him in the camera. Absolutely gorgeous. Just a gorgeous baby. Hey, fella. Hey there, buddy. Absolutely gorgeous. Darren, before you go, I don't have volume for you right now, so I don't know what happened. Can you talk? Can you talk? Check your volume. Nope, I have no volume. Because I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to other young couples as you're walking through your situation? And thank all of you that are joining. I'm going to double back to that in a minute. Thank you so much. And Curtis sends me inspirational quotes every day. I'm going to start having him post those on the Love and Stuff page. Those are amazing, Curtis. I look forward to them every day. Kamal, who is our associate producer, is saying he'd be willing to be a peer counselor for you, and I vouch for that. Kamal, this is one of the reasons, and I'm telling you and Darren that this is one of the reasons I think the men's space is so important. I'm glad Lori came through here because we've been talking about the sister space. I just think in this world that people have experienced such repression and depression that we need safe spaces where people can come and get some of the thought leadership, some of the thought experience, some of the support that they may need. And that is one of the parts of our vision and Love and Stuff community, that this is a community where people can come and be lifted. The world is filled with people who can gossip about you, talk about you, bring you down. The world is filled with bad news. And that's why you see me celebrating birthdays and trying to put positive things out. Is everything I experience positive? Heck, no. But I'm convinced that I can overcome evil with good. And I'm convinced that what the world needs more of is not another gossip channel. We need more love. And we need more spaces where people can be loved and be loved. And that's what the Love and Stuff community is all about. So we bring these topics because we know they catch your ear. And that's why I'm bringing some of them back and some of that content that was really great. And looking forward to new topics, because I think it sparks people's thinking around how we could interact better and how we can navigate our own love game, how we can up our love game. I think it's important to do. And I appreciate all of you for coming, and I hope that you will click share. All right. So Darren, okay. I still don't have any volume from you. I'm still trying again to get you in the volume. Let's see what's happening. Let's see if we can try one more time. Yep. I'm still not getting you on volume. Nope, I can't hear you. I can read lips pretty good. You know, choir directors read lips good. But I can't hear you. So hang tight there, buddy. Let's see if we can work on that for a second. And while I'm doing that, I just want to segue. As you know, you can shop live with us. And I want to make sure that, did I get your QR codes up here? All right, well, make sure it's in front of me. You can click on this codes to shop, the QR codes. If you want to get any of our Love and Stuff gear, there is the crew neck sweatshirt that is available. Trying to show change how it shows so it doesn't cover my face, but that's okay. I'll figure that out in a second. We also have the Gratefulness Journey Every Day that is available. The Heavy Blend unisex crew neck sweatshirt that a number of you have gotten, and I hope that you will get more. We're trying to make sure I can get these. I'm getting this QR code right here. All right. We also have the long sleeve workout tee that you can get. It's like a special material for those of you that work out and you want to work out to Gratefulness Journey every day. We believe that you should live the brand you wear. You should wear the brand you live. You should love the brand. We even have a bodysuit that is for the little ones. And so, Darren, we'll have to send you a bodysuit for that little one, even though I think the little one's probably big for this bodysuit, but we love to do that. We also have the hoodies in the Gratefulness Journey every day that are available. You click on that QR code, you can shop right away. I'm trying to move that QR code around, but it's over my face, so I'll live with it. We also have a men's high top sneaker, Love and Stuff sneaker. We don't have the leather in stock right now. This is the nylon one, so you want to get ready for the spring, you can get this sneaker there. This is the brand we're highlighting as we're going into the month of February. One of our mantras is love, front and center. People are always telling me, I want love. I want to find love. I can't find love. And the question I ask them, are you ready? Have you readied yourself for love? Have you readied yourself for love? Is your love front and center? Or are you underneath walls? Are you hidden because of past experiences? I believe that the truest love that you will experience is when you are leaning forward into your authentic self, being your best self with your love front and center. If you love God, that should be front and center. If you love yourself, it should be front and center. If you love your family, it should be front and center. And when you are seen in the active work of love is when you are most attractive to those who should be drawn to that love. Your love has to be front and center. There it is in black if you want to get the crew neck sweatshirt. Of course, all of this is on the Shopify store, but we wanted you to have it here now. And I couldn't close out this part without, there it is. I couldn't close out this part. There we go. Without showing you the Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix line. I'm so proud of those fellas doing their thing every other Saturday, coming up this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll be live on Love and Stuff at 11 a.m. Their Sports Talk group is growing, and we are so proud and pleased with what they're doing. Here is the sweatshirt as well. Ladies, you can get that sweatshirt. Getting ready for the football, Super Bowl, getting ready to go to the Super Bowl and watch who's going to win. Drop it in the comments. Come out, who's going to win. So we ain't going to bet on it. But you can wear this and we'll teach you what to do during the halftime show. And I have to show you the self-care ebook for those of you that want to join a self-care movement inside Love and Stuff, which is the group, one of the groups inside Love, that along with Sports Talk, our groups here in Love and Stuff. Inside Love and Stuff is on another 12-month journey of self-care. And we're just closing out. Today is the last day where we're talking about getting a good night's sleep. And tomorrow we begin a brand new focus. And if you want to learn about that focus, you need to go to groups under the Love and Stuff community page and join inside Love and Stuff. Here is the self-care ebook that has tips for each month of focus. And each month we will walk together in better self-care. We believe that self-care is your love and your gratefulness speaking to your worthiness. You can get the self-care ebook right now. And so we wanted to highlight all of those. And I'm going to see before we go if I can get Darren back in for a second. Darren, you got volume? Still no volume. Sorry, buddy. No volume. Yes, Kamau saying tune in Saturday for the predictions. I'm sorry, there's no volume, sir. All right. Well, I want to thank you for another great night of Love and Stuff. I hope that you will join us tomorrow with Darren Williams with Love and the Scriptures. That's right. If you want to explore the Scriptures, and right now Darren is talking about purpose. If you are trying to get what's my purpose in this world, in my relationships, in my love, Darren is exploring that and wants you to join us with your questions, your thoughts, be thought partners, he says, and join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 30 minutes. And then as Kamau has dropped in the comments, you want to join Saturday at 11 with Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. It's not just for the guys, ladies, it's for the gals. And there will be sports predictions. There will be the topic of the week. There will be stupid sports news and more with your favorite sports fellas who love sports. That's Kamal Williams, our associate producer here in the Love and Stuff community, and Felix Holmes, his co-host. They have a blast every other Saturday at 11 a.m. So take out some time and enjoy that time with them. And again, thank you for joining us tonight. Do me one favor, click share right now. Tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, YouTube subscribers, Twitch TV or Twitter followers, 5 of the more popular ones, to keep this discussion going about what you would do if you got a note on your car that said double back because there's something going on at your home. Many of you have said, I don't want to know because the dark, what's done in the dark will come to light. And I don't disagree with that at all. Some people want to know what's going on in the dark a little more soon. Just be mindful that whatever is happening in your life is happening in your life. And you get to decide who gets to be involved ultimately in your life. Choose carefully, choose wisely, because it could blow out of proportion in a way that you don't get to control. The only person that you control is you. And if you're like me, you have to spend enough time doing that. I'm Marcus Holmes. I'm the love activist. This is the Love and Stuff community. It's the place where you belong because it can't be a community without you. And if you are determined to increase the amount of love in the world, you didn't happen upon us. You've come to the right place. It's a home where there are people just like me and you who are not perfect, but who are perfectly trying to increase the amount of love in the world, one world at a time, mine and then yours. I hope that you will have a grateful evening and see you next Tuesday as we're going into the Black History Month, and we'll be talking about all things Black history all month long. And I hope that you will join us and that you will bring a friend to enjoy the many great things that are happening here in the Love and Stuff community. See you soon.